Good morning, ladies. Welcome to my stamping area today. Today we're going to make a card that was inspired by one of my good friends that's a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Texas. This was her card. Thank you, Joy from Austin. This was the card she did for a swap at convention, and I didn't have this stamp set, so I found one that was similar. And then this ribbon is now retired, and I didn't have this stamp set. So anyway, took her idea, made it my own. Looks very similar, just use a few extra things on it. So we'll get started with our measurements. This time, typically we take a piece of cardstock and we cut it in half to give us our base card. This time, we're going to cut the card this way. So here is what you get right here. Okay. So this piece is 4 1/4 by 11. Our next piece, we're going to have 2 pieces. This is going to be our layer, our first layer on our card. And these both measure 1 3/4. Let me double check that. Yes, 1 3/4 by 4 3/4. Each of these both measure. So you just wanted to cut 2 coordinating pieces, and when you put them together, it would give you a whole layer. So those are our next pieces. Our next one is 2 1/2 by 3, and then layered on that is 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, so that's that. Let's get started making this little cute thing. Okay, we're going to take our card, we're going to fold it in half. Again, this card is going to be opening up this way, like this. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to attach our 2 pieces. And what I would do on here is go ahead and get them both taped up. Then we're going to layer these on here. And before you really stick it down good, just make sure when you put them together, they're going to be about the same all the way around. There we go. So we'll put those down. Then we're going to stamp this little guy. This stamp set is Greenhouse Garden. Love this set. I think it was new in last year's catalog. It was the very first set that I bought in whichever catalog it was in. So this is typically a 2-step stamp. So we're going to use this one and this one. Like I said, it's a 2-step stamp, and by that I mean it takes 2 steps to make the image. Typically you would put this down in one color and then stamp right over it, but you don't always have to do that. Think outside of the box sometimes and don't always get stuck where you have to do one thing. So on here, we're going to come in here and stamp our image. Okay, got that? Then we're going to come in over top, and instead of filling in each of these, I'm only going to do 1 orange and 1 pink. So we'll come right over there, get our cleaner pad. Then we're going to come in with our Mellow Mambo. I like saying that. Okay, so there we go. Again, typically you would think you would have to stamp over all of those, but don't get all bothered with having to do everything just like you think. Like I said, think outside the box. Sometimes it's better. So we're going to layer these little guys right here. This is a really quick and easy card, and it works good with scraps because, I mean, our base card is a full piece, but everything else, it's really just using scraps. These are scrap pieces. These are small enough to be scraps. So this is a great card to make with your scraps without having to use a bunch of paper. So we're going to layer that on there. All right, the next piece we're going to stamp we're going to use, and this is, oh, fun, Perfect Punches. Perfect Punches, can you see that? All those great stamps, and every single one of these uses a punch that we have. So we're going to layer this on here. This is Congratulations. All right, I'm going to stamp this up in our soft suede. And then we're gonna take, this is our modern label punch, and it fits this one. So we're gonna line that little guy up, punch it out. Another little tip, ladies, when your pop dots get down to the bottom or the edges, don't throw them away. Tear them off and use them. That way you can get full use of your entire sheet. And this one was a little bit too long, so we'll snip that off. We're gonna layer this right here on the bottom. And the very last thing I'm going to do, we need to add our cute little bow right here. All right, this is our can't remember the size. I think I have it written down here. Our 1 1/4 striped grosgrain ribbon. Love this ribbon. We're gonna tie it in a knot. Okay, get that tied. Then we're going to take our scissors and trim off. Little trick here. Cut like that, and it makes a perfect edge over here. We're probably gonna have to trim some more off because it's gonna be too long, but I wanted to show you how to do that. My next thing I'm gonna add is a little embellishment. These are our rhinestone brads. This is the fire circles. And we're gonna come in here and we'll get a, let's get a kind of an orangey yellow color. That'll blend with that. On this one I had used the pink, so we'll do the orange. Okay, this we're going to just stick through. Hang on, let's get this tied really good here. We're gonna stick this guy and hopefully get it all the way through. There we go. And just stick that right there. Open that little brad up. Push it down. And this just adds a cute little embellishment for the front of the bow. Again, this is going to be too long, so I'm going to go ahead and trim this a little bit more. I'll trim this side a little bit more. There we go. Now we're going to add this to the center of our card, and we're going to use the mini glue dots. Mini glue dots are great for attaching anything that's ribbon, metal, anything like that. It's just extra sticky, and you just attach it, pick it up, and then put it down. And now you've got a great little card using all your scraps. There you go. Hope you guys enjoy. Have a great day. Toodles.